Kobe Bryant is the real Jesus Shuttlesworth. Ray Allen just played the role of Kobe Bryant as Jesus Shuttlesworth. Repeat that sentence if you have to. In this video today, we will be breaking down the deep symbolic meaning behind the movie He Got Game. And then I'll present to you my wildly plausible Kobe Bryant theory I just mentioned. Make sure you watch the full video today because this one's a banger.
We out the projects, baby. Where we gonna live at, son? Central Park West somewhere? What you gonna buy your mama, son? How much? A big house.
You have a son named Jesus Shuttlesworth? Is your son considered the #1 high school prospect in these United States? Governor's made a request that your son seriously consider enrolling in his alma mater, Big State. He'll do everything in his power to cut your time here short.
The movie He Got Game is a basketball cult classic, starring budding NBA player Ray Allen and acting giant Denzel Washington. This Spike Lee joint is filled with esoteric symbolism, and today we will be eyeing out the Easter eggs and deciphering its message, which seems to be more complex than I had originally thought before rewatching the movie with a conscious eye. With my knowledge and practice of Gematria and the things I have researched when it comes to occult knowledge and history, I will present to you a thesis where I believe the movie was written for in a depiction of Kobe Bryant, but Ray Allen was always meant to play the role. This movie was a unique case of predictive programming where no one could really understand the significance of it until later on after Kobe Bryant's untimely demise. Make sure you watch the full video to the very end. First, we will unravel the secrets and symbolism in the movie specifically. Then I will present my thesis on how this movie is in direct correlation with Kobe Bryant. Hello, and welcome to Sports Vaults, presented by D.A.T.A Productions, uncovering the untold, lost, and forgotten files of the sports world. Before diving into the breakdown, let's first understand the synopsis of the movie. He Got Game is a 1998 American sports drama film written, produced, and directed by Spike Lee, starring Denzel Washington and Ray Allen. The film revolves around Jake Shuttlesworth, Denzel Washington, father of the top-ranked basketball prospect in the country, Jesus Shuttlesworth, Ray Allen. Jake, imprisoned for killing his wife, is released on parole for a week by the state's governor to persuade his son to play for the governor's alma mater in exchange for a reduced sentence. To effectively decode the movie, we must grasp the spiritual alphanumerical system known as Gematria. Gematria is a numerological system by which Hebrew letters correspond to numbers, but we will be utilizing the English alphabet for our decoding today. So, in simple terms, ABC equals 1, 2, 3. This system, developed by practitioners of Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, derived from Greek influence, and became a tool for interpreting biblical texts. One can then calculate the numerical value of a word by adding together the values of each letter in it. In the realm of biblical interpretation, commentators based an argument on numerological equivalence of words. If a word's numerical value equals that of another word, a commentator might draw a connection between these two words and the verses in which they appear and use this to prove a larger conceptual conclusion. Gematria is essential to Kabbalah, the Jewish mystical tradition. The very basis of the Kabbalistic cosmological system rests on the beliefs that God created the universe through letters, numbers, and words. Indeed, the many names of God and their permutations in Kabbalah have numerical values that are believed to contain potent power. And for numerology, it is a study of numbers in your life. You can uncover information about the world and also each individual person by using numerology. Numerology is seen as a universal language of numbers. So when you add Gematria and numerology together, you have a powerful combination of occult knowledge to work with while breaking down games. There are many different ciphers one can use, but the top 4 we will be using are the English ordinal, ABC equals 1, 2, 3, its reverse, where Z equals 1 and A equals 26. Then we have the pure English reduction ciphers, or otherwise called the Pythagorean cipher, which is A equals 1 all the way to I equals 9. Then it resets at J equaling 1, K equals 2, and so on, and then its reverse. So how I can make these calculations really quick and really easy is going to gematrianator.com. It has all the different ciphers you can use. It starts with the top 4 ciphers that we primarily will use on this page, but it can get even deeper with that with other ciphers. So go check this out once you want to do your own research. Thank you to Derek, the creator of the Gematrianator website. Go check out his YouTube channel, Gematrianator85. Or you can have the Gematria calculator on the app. That's from Zachary K. Hubbard. That will help you with your research as well. Shout out to Zachary K. Hubbard for waking me up to the scripting not only in sports, but in regular day society. Check out his YouTube channels, Gematria Effect News and Gematria Effect Sports. This may be confusing at first, but this is a systematic code that was created thousands of years ago. And to put it bluntly, religion is a major part of our world. The elite ruling class have been using sport since the Roman times to cast spells and captivate the population. If you watch my Uncut Gems movie breakdown, I get into it a bit more. But do your own research and come to your own conclusions after doing your own research, because this is what I have done. Important message to all my subscribers and supporters. The esoteric knowledge I am bringing to light within the sports world is being censored. Please subscribe to my email list as noted in the description or comment section below to stay connected for updates in the case I get taken down from a censorship purge. Additionally, I started a Patreon page for those in my community who want to support me even further in my quest of expelling this esoteric knowledge. For only $3.33 a month in my first tier, not only do you get to support the growth of D.A.T.A Productions media and stay up to date with company news, you will also get unlimited access to my exclusive director's cut of my first official feature documentary film, The Endless Season, the version I submitted to Sundance Film Festival. What makes this director's cut special and different from the commercial cut being sold by my distributor is that it's a 5-part episodic documentary series with jam-packed action and information in 2.5 hours as compared to the short and concise 1.5-hour version available for purchase. In the director's cut, I go into more depth in the cultures of each city I traveled to during the 2018 season following the Philadelphia Eagles around the world. More food, more travel, more history, and less censorship, which makes it more real. The director's cut is the true version of my feature film. I spilled my heart and soul into it, and it bleeds onto the screen. It also sets the stage and highlights the very start of my conscious transformation just 3 years later to where I am exposing the sports industry for their fraudulent storylines. You will also get access to my first published book, Sports Secrets, Uncovering the Conspiracies and Finding the Facts in the Sports World, which will be available for unlimited downloads under this Tier 1 package. This is the only Patreon package I currently have. For the next pending tier, I plan on doing premium sports mini documentaries exclusively for Patreon supporters in the near future. I will go into the full lives and careers of some of the greatest athletes in sports history, not only breaking down the major headlines with gematria and numerology, but also tying in astrology, metaphysics, spirituality, and many other disciplines of knowledge that helps encompass a greater picture of the full story. If you like the content I create and would like to help me grow in any way possible, please click the Patreon link in the description or comment section below and consider signing up and supporting to not only get access to my previous premium work, but also updates for when I start releasing exclusive documentaries. Thank you for your support thus far, and I will continue to strive and provide value to all my viewers. If you have any ideas on how I can provide more value to you via Patreon or on this YouTube channel, let me know in the comment section below. Now back to the breakdown. There is tons of information to go over in regards to this movie. I will try to be informative and very concise. We will be going through the movie in chronological order, but not every theme or topic I discuss will be talked about at length. So please, expand on the subject matter I go over today for yourself and leave some notes in the comment section below so we can go over further. Let's start with the opening scene of the movie where Spike Lee has a montage of people playing basketball around America, getting various scenery and different faces, yet they all have the common denominator of playing basketball. I found the very first court and player choice interesting. The turnaround jumper for us to see the lettering on the back of the person's shirt prompted me to pause and decode the message to see what I find. The back of his shirt says, "Party, party, sober party, right." Very interesting shirt choice. If you subtract right from the messaging, you get party, party, sober party, which equals 101 in the pure reduction cipher. In short, 101 can be seen as the twin pillars of Boaz and Jachin, each being represented as a 1. Boaz and Jachin are said to have stood on the porch of King Solomon's temple, and representations of these pillars can be found in Masonic lodges and artwork. It's said the pillars are to symbolize a doorway into a new realm, world, or dimension. You can see 101 being represented in artwork, cathedral architecture. I am showing you a photo of the Notre Dame. At the front of the Notre Dame, you can see the 2 big pillars, but then in the middle, you have that rose window, which represents that 0. And if you think about it, entering a cathedral, any religious building of that caliber, can be seen as entering a new realm. Many conspiracy theorists say that 9/11 was a ritual to send the world into a new dimension of Earth. The Twin Towers were targeted. You could say the Twin Towers represented Boaz and Jachin, but interestingly enough, the Twin Towers had a sculpture named the Sphere in between the both of them, giving us another 101. Was the Twin Tower and Sphere combo a portal into a new dimension on Earth? I'm not sure. It's possible. Think about college classes and how introductory courses start with the number 101, entering a new realm of study. And for my last 101, that's kind of fun. Look at the Baltimore ESPN Zone's entrance. It has the 2 pillars on the side, and it has that big ESPN Zone sign in the middle that is a huge circle. And when you're entering ESPN Zone, you truly are entering a new realm. I've been to the Baltimore ESPN Zone before. It was pretty fun, like Chuck E. Cheese on steroids for the sports fan. Now that we understand the symbolic importance of 101, we can now theorize that the reason for the specific start in the movie and the specific messaging on the shirt was to vibrationally tell us that we are now entering a new world/dimension, which is the movie of He Got Game. I spent a great amount of time breaking down the 101 symbolism because it will be coming up again in this movie and I will be pointing it out. Let's now enter the He Got Game portal. Before deciphering this film, we should understand the underlying themes Spike Lee is trying to convey. One of the biggest themes of the movie is religion, specifically Christianity. In the trailer, it explains this movie is supposed to represent the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. But in this case, we are viewing the Father, the Son, and the holy game of basketball. The main character's first name is Jesus, and he wears a huge decorative cross around his neck the entire movie. Let's go over all the religious terms and their alphanumerical connections for future reference. Jesus, Messiah, Gospel, Parables, Cross, Muhammad, Lucifer, Jewish, Masonic, Occult, and Holiday all equal 74 in English ordinal. Roman Catholicism equals 74 in reduction. Jesus Christ equals 74 in reverse reduction, just like Denzel Washington. Trinity equals 74 in reverse ordinal, also 47 in reverse reduction. 47 is the mirror of 74, so it plays a factor in numerical connections. Christian and confession equals 47 in reduction, while Vatican and Ray Allen equals 47 in reverse reduction. Denzel's character, Jake Shuttlesworth, says to Allen's character, Jesus Shuttlesworth, that he has a biblical name.
Jesus! Biblical name.
Biblical name equals 47 in reduction. The number 34 is also an important number in the movie and for Ray Allen. Jesus equals 34 in reverse reduction. Ray Allen and Jesus Shuttlesworth's high school, Lincoln, equals 34 in reduction. The number on Jesus's jersey is 34, and Ray Allen's number for most of his NBA career was 34. And the mirror of 43 will come into play as well as we move along through the film. 3 and 4 are major numbers religiously because when added together, it equals to 7. 7 is a holy number, and G, the first letter in God, is the 7th letter in the English alphabet. In Jewish culture, when they spell out God, they leave out the O, so they spell it G-D, and D is the 4th letter in the English alphabet. So when Jewish people formally write out God, it is similar to 74. Keep note of these important numbers of 74, 47, 34, and 43 because they are scattered throughout the whole movie. The movie name He Got Game equals 45 in reduction, while the Holy Ghost equals 45 in reverse reduction. Jumping to the prison where Jake Shuttlesworth is located, his warden, who offers him a deal from the governor saying that if he can get his son to sign the letter of intent to Big State U, he can get his sentence reduced. It is also noted that Jake has 7 days to make sure Jesus signs his letter of intent, with emphasis on the 7.
To a deadline for kids to declare is 1 week away. Wait 7 days.
The warden's name is Marcel Wyatt, which equals 42 in reduction, like sin, which equals 42 in ordinal, and savior, which equals 42 in reverse reduction. Also, spelling out the word 42 equals 74 in reverse ordinal and 43 in reduction. So Jake and Warden Wyatt come up with a genius scheme to make Jake get food poisoning. This is my first Kobe Bryant Easter egg. I will refer back to this when it comes to my thesis later on in the video. They give Jake food poisoning, and when they are in the medical room, the warden says they need to lock down and quarantine the whole prison so an outbreak doesn't occur because he could be contagious.
What's wrong with this inmate, Doc?
I don't know. Food poisoning?
Are you sure?
I don't know. You just rolled him in.
I want this inmate quarantined immediately.
So he ate some of this fine prison cuisine.
I can't take a chance. Last time something like this happened, half the entire prison population got sick. He's quarantined now. He's contagious.
Food poison equals 43 in reverse reduction, but also 56 in reduction, like the CV illness. Contagious equals 43 in reduction and 56 in reverse reduction. Lockdown equals 34 in reduction. The doctor says Jake got food poisoning from the finest prison cuisine. Prison cuisine equals 81 in reverse reduction. Remember, I will refer back to this scene later. As we jump to the very first pickup game in the movie, they implanted a very familiar alley-oop photo op moment where Jesus' cousin, Booger, throws him an alley-oop off the glass, and then Booger stretches his arms out as a celebration. This looks exactly like the same dunk that Dwayne Wade and LeBron James performed with the Miami Heat years later. The movie title He Got Game equals 36 in reverse reduction. And as we see, the jersey numbers of 3 and 6 in this photo of Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. Similar equals 36 in reduction. Exactly equals 36 in reverse reduction. You can see where I went with this. And Ray Allen was a part of that team. After the alley-oop dunk, the movie highlights how the Lincoln Rail Splitters won the state championship the year before, off the strength of Jesus. The newspaper says, Jesus saves. Jesus saves in salvation equals 130 in reverse ordinal, while Lincoln Rail Splitters and full athletic scholarship equals 130 in reverse reduction and 257 in ordinal. As the movie goes along, everyone will start to badger Jesus to see where he will be going for school. The phrase "the decision" and Lincoln High equals 111 in ordinal and 186 in reverse ordinal. Now that the basketball fantasy inside the movie is over, Spike Lee turns the script to a more real, raw, and dark narrative as Jake Shuttlesworth gets out of jail. We are now entering a world we haven't seen yet. The mean streets of Coney Island, New York, New Jack City. And behold, we come across another 101 symbolizing the new portal we just jumped into. The Kennedy Fried Chicken neon sign equals 101 in reduction. As the cops pull over to let Jake Shuttlesworth out, the license plate of the cop car reads RFD 960, which equals 43 in ordinal and 34 in reduction. Jesus' girlfriend, Lala Bonilla, has symbolic importance too. Her last name Bonilla equals 43 in reverse reduction. At the school bus stop, we get to see the affection Jesus and Lala have for each other. If we take a look at the bus stop number right next to them, it reads B36. B36 equals 34 in reverse ordinal, 11 in ordinal, and reduction. This is another Jesus connection because, as we know, Jesus equals 34 in reverse reduction and 11 in reduction. In another bus stop scene at B36, Jesus and Booger get picked up by the local hotshot named Big Time in a bright red car with a license plate to match the nickname. Big Time equals 43 in reverse reduction. Big Time picks the kids up and proceeds to tell them all the pitfalls of being the next potential star to come out of the hood.
My bad. Y'all's education, right? Yeah.
Lala urges Jesus to talk to these basketball agents. These agents were trying to persuade Jesus to sign with them and go into the NBA draft. Jesus jokes with the Italian agent and asks if he works for the mob.
Mafia, that one got it, huh? Mafia? Got it. Jesus, just because I'm an Italian American doesn't mean I'm involved with the mob. I'm the best at what I do. I'm a sports agent.
You have to remember, Jesus is still supposed to be a high schooler. So talking like this, I would surmise that the mafia rigging games was a well-known fact in New York. In a future video, I will present a thesis where I believe the rigging of sports goes directly back to the Vatican, and it was no accident that the mob was established to handle the sports industrial complex, especially in the first half of the 1900s. We are now at a point of the movie where we start seeing flashbacks of Jesus' mom, Martha. In a good flashback, Martha remembers a time where Jake and Jesus were training together and having fun. At the dinner table, Jake brings up how many points Jesus scored in his previous game. Again, another 34 connection. It's so repetitive in this movie. In a bad flashback, we finally figure out how Martha dies at the hands of Jake. After a bad training session, Jesus and Jake get into an argument at the dinner table. The argument escalates where pushing and shoving occurs, then Jake shoves Martha and Martha hits her head. Murder equals 34 in reduction and 38 in reverse reduction. Killing equals 43 in reverse reduction, 74 in ordinal, and 38 in reduction. Martha equals 38 in reverse reduction. On Martha's tombstone, we can see that she was born in 1954 and died in 1991 at the age of 37. Hit head equals 37 in reduction.
All-time favorite ball player was Earl Monroe. Know the Pearl? Yeah, he was nice. See, everybody remember him from the Knicks, you know, when he helped win that second championship and everything like that, but I'm talking about when he was with the Bullets down Winston-Salem Stadium. Before that, gave 42 points a game the whole season, 41.6. The Knicks, they put the shackles on him, man. You know, on this whole game, they locked him up like in a straitjacket or something. You know what they call him? What? Jesus. That's what they call him, Jesus, because he was the truth.
The truth equals 42 in reverse reduction.
That's the real reason why you got your name.
Name me Jesus after Earl Monroe, not Jesus of the Bible.
Not Jesus of the Bible, Jesus of North Philadelphia. Jesus of the playgrounds. That's the truth, son. I want you to go to big state, son. That's the real reason why I'm out here. That's the reason they let me out.
Getting closer to decision day and the end of the movie, Jesus takes a recruiting trip to Tech U, where he is chauffeured around by this current attending basketball player named Chick Deegan, who is being played by Rick Fox, the former LA Laker. Anyways, being a former college athlete, I understand the dynamics of recruiting visits, especially overnight ones. The goal of the school is to show the potential recruit the world of being a collegiate athlete. The finer things in life with plenty of indulgences like alcohol, drugs, and women for the basketball stars. The host's first name, Chick, equals 34 in ordinal, but it also equals 101 in reverse ordinal. You see the correlation? This segment of the movie with Chick is significant because Chick is showing Jesus a new world he hasn't even thought of before, and is proved with the Gematria. Chick Deegan equals 66 in ordinal. This is important and correlates perfectly with these scenes. Tech U and Chick Deegan are distractions for Jesus, and they are making the attempt to sway Jesus away from going to the school that would help his father. 66 is an important number in religious terms. We all know the significance of 666, the mark of the beast. But 66 has deep symbolism as well. According to writingthebeast.com, 66 represents the reduction or the loss of the faith to the divine plan. This trip to Tech U is representing the school's attempt to knock the divine plan for Jesus off course.
Say hello to Buffy and Susie.
Buffy and Susie equals 66 in reverse reduction.
Don't worry about the names.
As you can clearly see, this movie's subliminal symbolism runs deep and is hiding in plain sight. Jesus and Jake end up playing one-on-one for Jake's prison sentence. If Jake wins, Jesus goes to BSU no matter what. If Jesus wins, he sends his father back to jail if he doesn't choose Big State. Jesus ends up beating Jake, and Jake goes back to prison.
The father from #1 basketball prospect Jesus Shuttlesworth was captured last night in the Coney Island section of Brooklyn, New York, after a week-long manhunt. He had escaped the maximum security Attica State Penitentiary 7 days before. No official word yet on how it escaped.
How could Uncle Jake have escaped and they let him walk out the front gate?
There's gotta be some truth to it. It's in the papers.
But on that Monday, Jesus would decide he would attend Big State University.
For your information, technically, you did not get your son to sign the letter of intent. Hopefully, that's not going to make a difference. We need some time.
In the final scene of the movie, Jake throws a basketball over the prison wall, and Jesus catches the ball falling out of the sky on the BSU court. Jesus then proceeds to look at the sky like the ball came from heaven. Basketball over wall equals 113 in reverse reduction, like National Basketball Association equals 113 in reduction. Jesus and Jake Shuttlesworth equals 85 in reduction, like basketball equals 85 in ordinal. There's your symbolic movie breakdown. I hoped you liked this movie breakdown of He Got Game. I've been thinking of other ways I can provide value to you guys on this channel, and I've been thinking of this idea where we have a monthly movie night through my Patreon, where we go through different movies and we decode with gematria and deep symbolic meanings of different movies with esoteric knowledge and things along those lines. I think it'd be a really cool idea. It gets people involved as a community, and then I will go and make a video out of it so the YouTube followers can see as well. So if you like that idea, let me know in the comment section and I will add that to my Patreon sometime in the future. Thank you. As I said at the beginning of the video, I believe Kobe Bryant has always been the real Jesus Shuttlesworth. Ray Allen just played the role of Kobe Bryant as Jesus Shuttlesworth, meaning Kobe Bryant was never actually going to play the role due to career storyline purposes. For me to have a reasonable conclusion, I have two underlying constants to provide structure to my argument. One is that professional sports is as scripted as movies or plays, and two, these storylines are planned out many years in advance that span over the professional player's career and overall life. If these two constants are accepted with the practice of gematria, I can formulate an excellent thesis as to why the He Got Game situation played out like it did. Let's dive in. Kobe Bryant and Ray Allen's NBA careers started at the same time with the 1996 draft. Allen was selected 5th overall, eventually being traded to the Bucks by the Timberwolves, while Kobe was drafted 13th overall to the Charlotte Hornets, who then traded Kobe to the Lakers. While drafted the same year, both players had different career arcs. Allen was a college basketball star at UConn, while Kobe was drafted out of Lower Merion High School. Both players had Michael Jordan comparisons coming into the draft. These parallels is what makes this he got game theory so interesting. While we all now consider Kobe Bryant to be second to only MJ in style of play, mental toughness, and a winner's mentality, at the beginning of his career, no one was thinking that. The early Lakers teams weren't championship caliber, and the more NBA-ready Ray Allen was starting to blossom. One could argue that Ray Allen held the title of the next Michael Jordan for some time, especially when Nike allowed Jordan to start his own sneaker brand. And he personally chose Ray Allen as his #1 pick to start it off. If MJ is the ultimate basketball god, and he chose Ray Allen as his first athlete to kick off his legendary billion-dollar sneaker business, it would only make sense that Ray Allen was Jesus, the Son of God, in the classic basketball movie He Got Game. And Ray has the Gematria numbers to back it up. We already went through them in the movie breakdown. On the surface level, one would think that this is a perfect match, but the decoding goes much deeper, and it's not with the man who physically played Jesus Shuttlesworth. It was with the man who was initially supposed to play him physically, but allegedly decided to turn it down because he was bummed about losing to the Jazz in the recent playoffs. I stand by that Kobe Bryant still played Jesus Shuttlesworth spiritually and alphanumerically with Gematria. To expand on my reasoning, we will go through the movie again, but this time, imagine Kobe playing the role of Jesus Shuttlesworth. He Got Game was released on May 1st, 1998, which can be written as 5-1 or 1-5, like 15. Kobe equals 15 in reduction. This day also has date numerology of 33. Kobe equals 33 in ordinal. He Got Game equals 81 in ordinal. Kobe's full name, Kobe Bean Bryant, equals 81 in reverse reduction and 810 in English Sumerian. Remember, 0 is just a value placeholder. He Got Game also equals 41 in septenary, while Kobe Bryant equals 41 in reduction. He Got Game film and Holy Trinity equals 67 in reduction and 59 in reverse reduction. Kobe's nickname, Black Mamba, equals 59 in ordinal and 67 in reverse reduction. Kobe movie equals 43 in reduction and 47 in reverse reduction, relating to the vibrationally significant numbers in the movie. Off the strength of these few decodes, you can start to see the connections to Kobe and how this movie was scripted for him. As I started to dig deeper, the numerical connections to Ray Allen start to fade and fade fast. Let's get into the other characters. Denzel Washington played Jake Shuttlesworth in the movie, Jesus' dad. Kobe's dad in real life was Joe Jellybean Bryant. Both Joe Jellybean Bryant and Denzel Washington equal 196 in ordinal. Jesus' girlfriend, Lala, has numerical connections to Kobe's wife, Vanessa Bryant. Lala equals 82 in reverse ordinal, while Vanessa Bryant equals 82 in reverse reduction. This cannot be said for Ray Allen with his father or wife. I do believe the scene where Jake Shuttlesworth gets food poisoning and the warden quarantines the prison was subtle predictive programming on what was going to happen in the future with Kobe in the 2020 CV illness pandemic. It's kind of wild that the CV illness pandemic equals 113 in reverse reduction, like Kobe Bryant equals 113 in ordinal, as the National Basketball Association equals 113 in reduction. Many consider the 2020 pandemic an apocalypse. Apocalypse and Kobe Bryant match in at least 7 ciphers: 113 in ordinal, 41 in reduction, 463 in satanic, 157 in reverse ordinal, 690 in Jewish, 678 in English Sumerian, and 942 in reverse English Sumerian. At this point, I could consider this movie a parable to the career arc of Kobe, concluding in 2020. Before I get into the last scene of the movie, which undoubtedly is a subtle story to the removal of Kobe, there are some other number synchronicities that support my case as to why Kobe was never actually going to physically play Jesus Shuttlesworth. Kobe Bryant and swapped out equals 41 in reduction. Substitution equals 45 in reduction, 81 in reverse reduction, and 135 in reverse ordinal. Kind of similar how Kobe Bean Bryant equals 135 in ordinal, 81 in reverse reduction, and 54 in reduction. Kobe equals 33 in ordinal, replace equals 33 in reduction, swapped equals 33 in reverse reduction. Now these next few are insane. Kobe Bryant is real Jesus Shuttlesworth, and Ray Allen was never Jesus Shuttlesworth. Both equal 135 in reduction and 180 in single reduction. Ray Allen played Jesus' role for Kobe Bryant equals 157 in reduction, and Ray Allen acted for Kobe equals 85 in reduction and 113 in reverse reduction. 135, 157, 85, and 113 are all major basketball and Kobe Bryant numbers. This cannot be by accident. Now that we came to this understanding that Kobe spiritually and alphanumerically has always been Jesus Shuttlesworth, let's decipher the end of the movie because it foreshadows the ritualistic removal of Kobe Bryant from this world. Let's revisit the ending of the movie from my breakdown. In the final scene of the movie, Jake throws a basketball over the prison wall and Jesus catches the ball falling out of the sky on the BSU court. Jesus then proceeds to look at the sky like the ball came from heaven. At this point, you should understand the key numbers and their importance to this story. I will no longer explain each repeating number I decode. Going back to the 1996 draft, Kobe was drafted 13th overall in the first round by the Charlotte Hornets, the team that is currently owned by Michael Jordan. Round 1, pick 13 is very similar to 113. Both Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan equal 113 in ordinal. The National Basketball Association equals 113 in reduction. Do you really think it's a coincidence that if MJ is the true god of basketball, the son of basketball was drafted by the team Michael Jordan would own in the future? Jake throwing the basketball to Jesus was symbolism for the sun, aka the basketball, or sun falling. Many believe Kobe Bryant's passing was a sun sacrifice ritual. Sun ritual equals 135 in ordinal, 45 in single reduction, 450 in satanic, 740 in Jewish. Ritual equals 81 in ordinal, 81 in reverse ordinal, 45 in reverse reduction, and 410 in Jewish. The sun with the lowercase equals 33 in single reduction and 113 in Francis Bacon. Like Kobe equaling 33 in ordinal and Kobe Bryant equaling 113 in ordinal. Sun equals 330 in Jewish Gematria. Sunfall equals 85 in ordinal, 330 in satanic, 41 in reverse reduction, and 24 in septenary. Kobe equals 33 in ordinal, 24 was his jersey number. Kobe Bryant equals 41 in reduction, and that was the age that he passed. And basketball equals 85 in ordinal. Solar cycle and Kobe Bryant match in all 4 of the main base ciphers. 113 in ordinal, 41 in reduction, 157 in reverse ordinal, and 58 in reverse reduction. Sun sacrifice equals 41 in Chaldean and 403 in Fibonacci. Sun equals 54 in ordinal. CV illness equals 540 in satanic, 41 in septenary, and 43 in Chaldean. Both sun god and Bryant equals 80 in ordinal, 26 in reduction, and 82 in reverse ordinal. Kobe passed on the 26th day of the Gregorian calendar, and it was the 74th NBA season. Crucify equals 85 in ordinal, 41 in reverse reduction, and 330 in satanic gematria. Kobe Bryant was laid to rest at Corona del Mar. Corona del Mar and the CV illness equals 56 in reduction and 70 in reverse reduction. For the record, Kobe Bryant never said he watched the full film of He Got Game. He tweeted out that he watched the end of the movie, which is very important because it shows Kobe's future demise. Kobe's He Got Game tweet came out on August 17th, 2013. From that day to his passing on January 26, 2020 was 77 months. Sacrificed equals 77 in ordinal. In conclusion, in my honest opinion, the reason why Kobe Bryant didn't play Jesus Shuttlesworth is because whoever controls the sports matrix possibly looked forward to 2020 and realized it would be too blatant a predictive programming for Kobe to play Jesus and still be removed. Way too obvious even for the most asleep individuals to not think something fishy was going on, especially when dealing with religious parables that people are familiar with. Also, him starring in a classic movie doesn't fit his purely about basketball persona. Like Jordan, Kobe has had his fair share of Utah Jazz moments. Jordan had the flu game in Game 6 finals versus the Jazz, while Kobe had his final game before retirement dropping 60 points.
You couldn't have written this!
But also the semifinals loss in 1997, when he decided to turn down the He Got Game role after the Lakers lost to the Jazz 4-1, much like 41, like Kobe Bryant, or the age of his passing, or its mirror of 14, which Utah equates to. On top of the fact that the Utah Jazz also equate to 113. Like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, the National Basketball Association, and the CV illness pandemic. The NBA stopped the season on March 11th, 2020, which could be seen as 11-3 or 113. To come full circle for this video, the final score for the Lakers in Kobe's last game was 101 points. We've talked at length about the symbolism of 101. Could it be that Kobe Bryant's career truly was a ritual, a part of a grander scheme to send the human race into another dimension in correlation with the CV illness? So many questions to be answered even after this long video. What's your take on this topic? Was Kobe the real Jesus Shuttlesworth? Did He Got Game predict his future? What's the reason for all of this? Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Like and subscribe for more investigation content like this. This was Sports Vaults, presented by D.A.T.A Productions. See you next time.